Got some stuff in the mail. Got some Harley nest grips. New drag bar from JP Motors. Speedometer relocation kit. I am going to take the main fuse out, which is located in here, just in case, just to be safe. Main fuse of the bike, put it in there, stash it for now. I'm gonna start up on my mission, get some drag bars put on here and relocate my speedometer. Took some pictures before and we'll see how it looks after. So that's the project. Let's get it going. First thing I'm gonna do is, of course, protect my gas tank. I don't want any scratches and stuff on it, so throw some cloth on it. Just put some painter's tape on it. That way the rag won't move while I'm doing my business. Okay, so let's pop off the handlebars. So now I got it kind of loose, I'm gonna start taking off some of the assembly here, because once I take off the handlebar, all of this wiring is gonna be kind of attached still. So using a Torx bits, you loosen up the controls that go to the handlebar assembly. I already did the throttle on that side. All right, take off this cluster here and see what we got. I thought these were retaining, but they're not, so gotta be careful not to lose them. Okay, so there's that. So now that it's loose, comes right off. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it somewhere safe. I'll just let it hang out over here. Here on the throttle side, I already took the throttle off because I'm changing my throttle cables. And that one does attach. This cluster does attach to the throttle, and you have your throttle cables that actually are controlled, of course, by the grip. So I'm gonna get this out of the way and work on taking this bracket off here. Another two screws. Take it right off. Again, non-retaining screws, so careful not to lose them, as you're going to need them to put them on your new bars. And that's that. We'll hang that assembly down there. now that I have everything somewhat out of the way, I'm going to start completing the removal of the handlebar. Get this old handlebar off and throw on this new drag bar. I actually don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and install the old speedometer since I got the relocation kit. I'll just put the bracket on and see how the wiring goes. I'm hearing that you may need to extend the wires to separate the bracket from the new position of the speedometer, but we'll see. Okay, so that's off. There's the old one. Begin to disassemble the light fixture, this little top bracket here. But before I do that, this is how the drag bar is gonna look. So, and the new bracket is gonna go there. Somehow, some way, we'll figure it out. Take this off so I can see the wiring harness. Start disassembling that. I know I'm gonna have to undo my tank. Maybe not take it all the way off, but I know I'm gonna have to lift it. So start with this here. So that's what supports your headlight. Put a towel down here. Again for the scratches. Oh, there's a washer. And headlight comes off. That's your fixture there. I'll just let that hang out for a little bit. Lift the tank. Got this wrench on the other side. I did put a tank lift on it. That's this bracket here. Okay. This is the bolt for the tank. Go ahead and lift this here so I can get to the wiring. I'll put a block under here just to hold the tank up. Now what I want to do is follow this speedometer wiring harness to see where it leads me. And it looks like it's stopping right around here. So what I want to do is disconnect that. Go ahead and cut some of these zip ties. This is my USB that I installed, and it looks like the speedometer is right here. So go ahead and disconnect that. And pull it off. And here it is. This is kind of where the work begins. Gotta figure out a way to take this assembly apart, add it to my new bracket, and assemble my new cluster. So let's see. So it looks like I'm going to grab a hex and take this apart and see what's going on. Okay. Looks like comes off pretty simple. Looks like I'm gonna need to unplug this assembly here. Let's see if I could take off this harness. Oh, there it is. Looks like there's a seal right here. Take off the seal. Since this is disconnected from the gauge, looks like I'm gonna be able to take it apart. Pretty easy. Okay. Now that that's off, I think I have to remove the indicators to put it on the new one. Looks like I'm gonna have to take those off there. Looks like a small Torx bit. Okay, so let's get this off. And this is the harness. Now, looks like I have to take off the faceplate, indicators, neutral, oil light, signals, high beam, in order to put it on my new bracket. I don't see any more screws, so it looks like it might just be adhesive. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming off. There it is. Here's my indicator. Okay. And it looks like it's gonna fit perfect, of course, on my new indicator. Like that. Got some the little Torx bits right there. That's the harness is gonna screw onto. So keep it in place. I am going to cut into this wiring because it's going to be separate. The indicator from the speedo. The indicator is going to be at the top. Speedo is going to be on the side. So I'm going to do little cuts and see what's going on with this wiring here. Make sure I don't cut actual wiring harness wires. Little cuts to see what you're doing. Okay, it doesn't look like the wire is going to be long enough to separate. I might have to add some wire. So cross that bridge when I get to it. So in order to find out if everything's good to go, I'm just going to continue with the install. Wiring harness. It says top right there, so obviously that's the top. You don't want to put your gauges on backwards. JP hooked me up with this piece of rubber. Didn't read the instructions, but pretty sure it goes around the speedo. Thought it was a wristband at first, but looks like it goes there in order to hold the bracket in place, keep it from moving. So this was a 1/2 inch. Took it apart. I'll go ahead and slide it in with the rubber support there. And I'll put it back together somehow with that 1/2 inch there. So I actually don't even know what this is. It says to just slide it in and have the 110 facing the open bracket. When I put this around the speedo, I don't have enough room to put the bolt back on. It says to put it on without the bolt, and it won't fit with that rubber piece on, so maybe I will use it as a bracelet or something. I don't know what that is. But before I do that, I'm going to weatherproof it a little using some of this weatherproof tape. I'm going to throw it around the speedo so I could keep it gripped in there. And there it is. Okay, so I extended this wire. Got it pretty long. I figured more is better than less. Soldered it all up, did 1 for 1. Started taping it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish taping it up real quick before I throw it on. So I went ahead and dropped my tank. Stuck the speedometer into the bracket that supports the tank. And I have a lot of extra wire, of course. So what I did was I started zip tying. Got one right there, got a couple under the tank. So I gotta clean it up before I reassemble the headlight. Before I completely tighten the bolt, I'll adjust it wherever I wanna position it, and I can go back and do that later as well. So for now, I'll just put it like that, tighten down my tank. Now that I got it somewhat clean, I'm going to tighten the handlebars up a little bit before I start cutting these zip tie ends, because it keeps moving up and down. Like that. Get it in the middle before I tighten it down. So after adjusting the handlebars where I kind of think I like it, I'm gonna go ahead and put the light assembly back on. Now I'm putting the headlight assembly back on. I won't tighten it all the way up yet. See what I'm working with. This is the Harley Nest grip, left side. Looks like it came with some glue. I just want to position it for now without gluing it, so I could put my accessories on. So I'll just put that on for now. I was trying to take the grips off to put the glue on it, but fucking stuck. So it looks secure to me. I'm not gonna worry about it unless it starts moving around. I'll just put the glue to the side. Start on my accessories. It's gonna go like that. Turn this way. Right there. Again, I won't tighten it all the way down yet, so I could adjust it where I want it, or where it's supposed to be. And that's how it looks after effect. Everything still works.